Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I was killed a couple hours game time there before starting the video. Remember last time we ended, it was about 2 a.m. or something like that. I wanted to make sure my recorder had plenty of time for, to make it to the 21-day horde and a couple minutes after to talk and kind of see the damages and that type of thing. So I thought I would spend a moment here. I finished up with mining, and I was going to spam craft some wooden. Guess we could combine some of these, some wooden clubs, in order to. I'm gonna throw some of these out, boy. In order to upgrade our weapon level. Little scatterbrain, kind of get my feet back under me here. I just released, another level last night. Another level, I can't even talk tonight. Another episode. And a video of a free fall pit design with an underground garden. And tree farm. Ooh, it's been a busy day. So once again, it's one of those late night recording sessions, just trying to get it done. And really excited about this 21-day horde. We should be, let's see what the block or the entity damage on that is, 22. So it's a lot more. So let's just scrap it up. So I think I spam craft 100 of these things. I'll have to stop production here in a minute as soon as we hit green. Just wanted to get them up to green to match our tools. And once we do that, I'll stop with it. 299. And 300. All right, we're going to stop right there. We only had 8 left to make anyway. So let's combine those. Well, did I drop my... What did I do? Did I drop it on the ground? I'm so scatterbrained tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But we did get a lot of mining done. I know I had a comment that I wasted a lot of time in that 8th episode, which was for me about a week or so ago in recording. And I did fumble around a little bit, but I was still gathering resources. And, I moved a lot slower. I played this game so much in the past, year or so, that it's nice to kind of do this laid-back playthrough, take my time with things. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm pretty confident it will, and in the end, and I've had fun. I've just had fun playing it at a laid-back pace instead of being so rushed to do everything that I do, and feeling like it's I have to get all of these projects done. So we're gonna make ourselves a new barbed club, spike club. Kind of get my bearings about me here again and what we were doing, where we were at. I need to eat while we're waiting on, that was down to 1%. While we're waiting on this forged iron to complete, we'll eat, get our water topped off, see what it is we need to do to complete the bunker here. It's pretty much all done. It's all cement, much like I said it would be. All right, so that's good. Get a little wellness is going up. That's good too. Let's drink that. All right. There we go. So let's make that spiked club. So almost have 1,000 steel. We'll see what that looks like whenever we start upgrading the pillars. I did not do the math to count them out, but I'm pretty sure we can upgrade all the pillars, and We have plenty of concrete, so if they do break it from steel down to concrete and we don't have enough to continue upgrading, not a big deal. You know, we'll just keep the concrete up, and I think we'll be fine. We have a lot more square footage now to kite them around on. If I expanded it again once more that way, maybe even this way, since this way is a lot less work to just expand it, which is the way I'll probably go. I won't go but maybe 3 more blocks over, 9 more spikes, and that would give the maximum amount of square footage I think we would need. That's a screamer up there. Fortunately for us, she's not going to make it into the base, so that spike club should be done in 3. All right, now let us, what's the lower quality one? Combine those two. We're going to keep this 286 for a backup, just in case we use this one all the way up. I need to put my repair kits away with, whoops, my auger, which is here. Just put that there as well. Okay, so assess what I have in my inventory. What time is it? 6:58. So let's see. Let's get some more going. Just keep on clicking that button to make that pump out. So we'll leave the 500 that we have in there. Oh, we need to grab our concrete real quick, which is right here. Let's go ahead and grab 2 stacks of that. Don't want to get all OCD, but here we go. Okay, let's grab 2 stacks of concrete. And why am I holding this wooden club? Let's go ahead and scrap that as well. Okay. So it's going to take about 630 steel, 620 steel to upgrade this. We should have about 1,000, so it should leave us over with about 400, if my math is right on that, by the time the horde arrives. I'd almost like to do the blocks up above as well. They did take a little bit of damage when that cop exploded, and I'm expecting at least a few cops this time. On the 28-day horde should be a lot more intense because we've reached a lot more levels now as well. May even run across to the tree farm and get ourselves a little bit more wood, make a few more spikes and put out and around. Okay, so that's all the steel there. We're going to have to go grab a little bit more. And we should have plenty steel making in the forges to get us some steel for repairing. We're just going to do these top pillars. Not too worried about that bottom pillar. They would catch... they don't do a lot of damage to those anyway. Let's see what we're left over with. So we have 411... so that will leave us... It may almost be more beneficial to upgrade these to steel than it would that bottom one right now. We'll see what we're left over with. We may get the bottom one as well. What's a good thing I repaired that? It's down to about 80%. So what are we down to? 341. Okay. And this guarantees us, because the steel is just going to turn to the reinforced. So this guarantees us it can take a beating, can take a licking, and keep on ticking. Nice. You know what? While we're doing it, let's just do it. Do it right. 131. So now everything is steel. The spikes, the pillars. Ooh, I just wasted 10 steel on that. The blocks up top. And that one down there. All right, so we just ran out. I would have had been one short, but I upgraded that. Didn't count on the top blocks doing those either. But so we have a whole day to cook up steel, and we'll just let that keep on making. We should be good to go. Excited that we did get that bit of mining done and get enough steel to get it all upgraded before the horde hit us. So let us, how much wood do I have on here? So we have wood in here as well. Tell you what, we could make, let's do this. Let's make 41 more of those. 4 minutes to make them, that's not a lot of time. We still have 5,000 wood in here. We can walk across the street and get pretty much all the wood that we need for a long time to go. Some bodies up here. Pretty sure these were screamers as well. I'll take it. Just carefully clicking on that because I didn't want to upgrade the block underneath the steel. All right. Beautiful. Always like glancing through this when I get back into this particular save game. Kind of seeing what I have up here, assessing what I have in each storage. So we have lots of seed for trees. We could make that tree farm huge, or I could just go out here and randomly plant those trees as well. Our potatoes are ready again. Our corn is almost ready, should be ready sometime throughout the day, but we let all that get ready all at one time. The cotton we could go ahead and plant, pull that up and plant it. Let's look at all those trees. So these trees we had to replant. Remember, we had to plant the dirt there because it was growing in clay. Let's see, do we have any cotton seed that we could plant? I guess we planted all at the same time, or did we plant all that cotton? Thought we had some seed. Okay, we needed to make that into some seed. Let's do that. This is not a very important one here, the cotton. It's something basically I wanted to grow to make cloth, to get a little cloth manufacturing process going so we can, there are a few usages for it, but mostly those repair kits, making duct tape, that sort of thing. 69. Is that right? Yeah, 69 of those. Wow, that's a good number. So I don't want to waste the day away. I'm pretty much done with scavenging for now. I mean, I'll get airdrops. I'll go to the bookstores and the hardware stores and the shotgun messiahs. But as far as scavenging for just random stuff, I'm not going to go out of my way to do that moving forward. Right now, the focus, we have self-sustained food. We go out and hunt for some animals every once in a while. And right now, we just need stone and iron. All of that is underneath our feet, so we'll spend a lot of time down there. I do encourage you, I got a message under one of the videos if I was going to continue the series of how about add music or speed up the process of going through the gathering resources, and I encourage you just to skip through that. When you see that I'm going to do it, I'll try to make you aware that, I am going to be doing some mining or cutting some trees. Just skip through it because that's what I would do. So let's see here. We could do another one to the fixer. Let's do that and go ahead and cap that out. The quicker crafting. Don't really think we need the health nut. I don't plan on getting hit. We could eventually do steel smithing. Miner 69er is capped. Quality Joe, we need to be 60, and we're way off from that. I'm not gonna give points to that. That's not something I'm gonna do. Fast Eddie for looting. Not too concerned with that either. So everything's good. Right now we're just really more or less waiting for the horde to arrive. 10 seconds left on our spikes. Go ahead and get those on our belt. And when we go back over to the base, we'll absolutely... I don't think I need 69. We might want to count these out here. So 15. So we do need 60. Something like that. So 1 minute for that. We can do another layer of spikes up here, and that will minimize the amount of repairs on the steel. At least for this horde, once we get Pummel Pete capped and we get our weapon skill up higher, we'll be able to kill those cops for sure. That was a boo-boo right there. Mistakes were made, but we'll be able to kill those cops in just 1 or 2 hits, hopefully, once they land on the spikes. But for right now, to give us that extra buffer, I say we lay these down. The only disadvantage I can see to this is if we get cops early and they get caught up on these spikes and don't die from the spikes, they could explode up here on the wood, and that might not be a good thing. Not sure, but either way. So instead of well, you know, we're going to go ahead and cut one of these down. We're going to cut a couple of these trees down to get ourselves just an extra bit of wood. I have 5,000 in the base, but there's no need to go riding off when you have wood right here. The reason I was going to do that is just so all of it could be ready at the same time, but we're probably never going to cut all this wood down at the same time because we're never going to need that much wood. So you can see right here in 3 trees that I cut down, already up to 2,200 wood. You know, you get it really quickly from these large trees, and I'm going to replant these things and just be done with this. For now, we won't need any more. We're going to make, let's make spike. Let's make 8. And that'll give us 2 that we need, and it'll give us... Alright. Put those away. Whoops. That's not good. Alright. Whoops. Absolutely going to do a better farm as soon as I get some more fertilizer. We could do it now. I'd spend all my time up to 28 days kind of preparing for that horde, but won't be long, and we're going to kind of run out of things to do as far as all that goes. So we'll just make that 1. Put you right here. All right, nice. Should we do this 1 o'clock? Let's go get that airdrop, see where that's at and how far away we have to drive to get it. So that's not too far away. Nice, we got our nice purple engine now. We can just scoot across the landscape. No wasting time on this little booger. It's almost as fast as it can go right here too, the speed that we're going, the speed that we're moving. We could absolutely go out and do all sorts of things now. So my plan is after the 7-day horde hits on day 28 would be to go find ourselves another city. It's not necessary. We could really live in this. Ooh, let me take a look at the map. Did we pass it up? No, still up here. We could absolutely survive in the city that we have, and the hub city, just kind of taking a trip every 5 days or 10 days or whatever we decide back and forth to there. I don't really need anything else. Just now iron and stone, and that's going to be all that we really need. Make a better base. Go out and hunt for meat every once in a while to make our meat stew to add with our vegetables that we're growing. It's typically why I wouldn't do a playthrough beyond a certain day, because once you reach a certain day, you kind of run out of things to do. I thought about doing some mega project, building some super large structure, but I'm already kind of doing that on the server right now. I've been working on. I probably only have about 20 hours into it now, but I'm working on a really large project on there. I haven't had as much help gathering resources lately, so it's going a bit slower. When I said it was probably going to take 200 to 300, it might actually be 300 to 400 before I can complete that project. We'll just have to see how that works out. All right, so got that. There's really nothing in there worth our while. Airdrops, other than the first aid kits, they don't really have anything to offer us anymore, because I don't use guns, and there are typically a lot of gun parts in there. First aid kits, they're pretty overpowered, and I don't think I've used one yet that I can recall. And I know I used first aid bandages a few times, but I don't spend a lot of time getting hit multiple times in a row, and that's where you're really gonna pay off having those. So make it on back to the city here, or a town, settlement, whatever you like to call this. It is now 14:30. I guess we could do a little bit of looting to get our scavenging up some. I would like to get that next point in Quality Joe, and the only way I'm going to accomplish that is by scavenging these houses. And I've said it before, scavenging is not my thing. I don't do a lot of it. I have others that help out with that sort of thing that do enjoy scavenging. We'll go ahead and take that, and we'll just scrap it. We'll scrap all of this stuff. Can't hurt. I'm going to scrap you and scrap you too. I'd probably take these for the cloth, eh? Take that wrench out. Whoops. Worth a try. You hate to get rid of those file cabinets, because they are a good source of paper if we ever decide we want to make some TNT. We're going to need that paper. And I know I can scrap those for the mechanical parts. We've been talking about that back and forth in chat. Yeah, I probably won't ever use coffee. All right. Did we pretty much scrap everything in here we could scrap? We'll make ourselves another steel axe. Get that up to green as well. It's one of those fancy luxury homes here. So, one thing I need to do, 15:30 before let's see where we're at on the map. Okay, the base is right there. Let's go get some more steel going before it gets too late, because it does take time for that to manufacture. I should have done that before deciding to go out and scavenge, but let's do that real quick. A little bit of rain. Ooh, I don't know if you all can see that. Did you see that? I don't know if that showed up or not. Oh, here it is again. I don't know what that is. It's like artifacting or something, maybe? Hope that's not the graphics card. It's a brand new graphics card. May just be the game. So there's a decent amount more making now. Should give us some for repairs. We'll just slap all of this in there. Cotton, feathers, electrical parts. And over here, put our eggs. And our antibiotics. And we'll put these seeds down here with the fertilizer. Our first aid kits will stick up here. And our rebar, we don't need that on us anymore. We will hold off on the steel shovel, or steel axe, I mean. We may keep our, let's keep that on us. Put this on our belt. Put our steel here. I don't need our hunting knife anymore, so we can take that off and stick it in here with these little hand tools. Put that here. We don't need any goldenrod tea. We'll finish off. We'll drink a little bit of that before it all gets started. And we'll only need 1,000 concrete mix. Worst case scenario is we just run back down here and grab another stack, but we should be good with just that one. Everything else, you know, we're going to need. 163 crossbow bolts. I did get that artifacting again. Look at that. I don't know if that's showing up on the video for you all. What I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I may need to log out of the game and back into the game because I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. And maybe splice the videos together. Let's do that real quick. I will be right back. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to relog real quick to nip that in the bud. Whatever that may have been, I'm not sure. But that was kind of weird. So hopefully that fixed it. I just exited the game and started it back up. I don't know that I've encountered that regularly, though we did see it in a previous episode. I had mentioned it. And I said, wow, what is that? And then it quickly went away, so I didn't think anything else about it. So we were coming in here. We're going to take a look around. Really just getting our scavenging up so we can get that next point in Quality Joe. See, there we go with the magnum parts. Now that's something that I commonly see on any playthrough that I ever do. So I do need to grab some scrap as well. For the spikes in case they do destroy the spikes, the steel spikes, and we don't have enough to keep it repaired. So we're just kind of clicking on everything to get that bonus for scavenging. Luxury homes have some fancy looking bathrooms. We can get leather out of that. May as well get it. Oh, look at the pig. What are you doing, pig? Why are you in this house? Pig's like, what are you doing in my home? Okay, so we've already been in here. Just came through there. I'll scrap the skirt. All right. This is a little bit of scavenging level here, I guess, while we were waiting on the horde to arrive. I'm gonna head on back over to the base. Guess I'll park my bike down the street just so the horde... Oh, wow. I did not mean to drive over the top of a zombie. Just so the zombies, if they spawn, they don't come and hit that mini bike and destroy it. Of course, I'm sure I could probably just repair it, as long as mechanics have not changed for all of that. There's nothing in here that we need right now. We'll take this animal fat in there with us right now. And that's it. Triple check this storage here, this little catch-all storage. Nothing that we really need. We can get rid of those chests eventually. Maybe just leave one up there. I tell you what, while we're out and about, did I stop the production on spikes? I think I had made just 2 more for there. I'll leave us with a 6, okay? We'll leave that one by itself, even though I'm a bit of OCD with that. It's alright. So let's get some more steel rolling for our last 2 hours, less than 2 hours before the horde arrives. So we have 2 more hours to cook up just a little bit more steel. So it should put us up around 200 or so by the time the horde arrives. So we'll have just enough. Tell you what, let me make a few log spikes just in case cops were to come in, explode, and wreck a couple of our spikes that we have there. Put the meat in there. Hello, Screamer Lady. And we will keep those on us. Put the cloth in there for the time being. We're going to get our food topped off. Eat another meat stew should top us there. And one more sip of some goldenrod tea. And let's grab ourselves, that should be plenty of scrap iron. We won't need our shovel or our pickaxe on us, so we'll put our hand tools down here. Shouldn't need beer. I keep the frames just in case of emergency. We won't need our wrench, so we can put it in there. We'll keep this extra club on our person just for a quick shift over to it in case our other one wears out. So I think that's everything. Checklist. We have a little bit more steel making. We're going to grab one thing, and we have a full thing of concrete, so we don't even need to top that off. This steel should be done here in just a few moments. Puts us up to almost 200. If I recall correctly, when the steel takes damage, it takes 1 steel per click on it to upgrade. So I guess that all depends upon the amount of damage. But I think 1 click from the nail gun is 1 steel. So the spike should be good for a long time. the you know, it may have not hurt to even upgrade those to steel, but I'm not too concerned about that. If it all comes falling in, then we'll deal with it. But I usually over prepare for these things, and when it hits, it's a bit lackluster, and it's all over, and I'm like, wow, you know, wasn't as bad as I thought. But you can never be too sure, especially with the cops now are a little unpredictable and the damage that they do. So just want to make sure that worst case scenario. So 191. 194. We still had those two pillars right there. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take them on up. That way they can take that extra beating. Leaves us with 174 to kind of repair a pillar or two here or there. Might not do a lot of repairing for the pillars in case they do take a massive amount of damage and look like they're going to break or something. We'll just wait and use our cement for that. So we have this storage as kind of our catch-all for the horde. I'm not going to do a lot with that right now. Just leave it the way it is because we have about 45 minutes in game before the horde arrives. Make sure the hatch is closed. Yep. Little thunderstorm coming to seal the deal with the creepiness of the horde coming. Everything looks good. What we're going to do now is hunker down and ready ourselves for a worst case scenario, which would be the base all failing and caving in and cops exploding all the pillars out. But I feel pretty confident that is not going to happen. That would be worst case scenario. So we do have beer on us. And, you know, what I do if the base were to give way is I would run over to the hatch. I really need a secondary exit to this place, but I would run over to the hatch and get out and use our beer and just run around in the street and fight the horde. You know, I've done that before, not because the base is caving in, but just for fun. You get a little bored on those servers, and we're up on such a high day, and we have full maxed out armor and all of that stuff. That's something that I didn't do, is make any more armor for myself. I'm still using pretty garbage armor, but it's fine. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the 28-day horde. Curious what these spikes on top are going to do when they come walking through here. These spikes over the hole, you know, what actually happens, what actually becomes of those. If they all just fall in and cave in, or if they stay there. So right now, not a whole lot of action down in the pit. We may have overdone the spikes up there just a bit. Most of those bodies should be around in the morning for us to loot, though, so this is not too concerning. But okay. So anytime now, we should maybe get a zombie or two to drop into the pit. Oh man, they can't even make it through the little spikes yet. They will. We still have many hours to go. So the first hour, The spikes up top absorbed most of the small zombie waves. The first 2 waves, it looks like. Oh, there we go. Okay. Good, and that's the carnage happening up top. There are just bodies all over. The only bad thing about the spikes here right directly above the pit that we put up there just for science, those bodies, once the spikes break, those bodies are just going to cave in and get destroyed when they fall. So I hear him beating on something. I'm not quite sure what that is. Let's take a look at the blocks up here. So I don't really see anything taking damage. I thought that maybe because I guess we could probably upgrade these to scrap. Eventually I'll make all of that cement. Do a little repair there. So I guess, you know, while we're waiting on all this to transpire and for them to make it through those first defenses, we'll make ourselves a little bit more steel. Never thought I would be just casually strolling about during the horde and making some extra steel, but so I think I went a little bit overboard on the spikes up top. This is the 3rd or maybe the 4th wave now that's coming, and my guess is that any moment now they're going to be, you know, falling on through these little wooden spikes. So you can see, boy, I don't know what he's doing. You can see that they added a big bonus on how much, I won't say a bonus, but a big cost on how much it did cost in order to create those little spikes, because people were abusing those, and they still are, but they were making just hundreds or thousands of them, and that was their defense. And you don't really need that, you know, you don't really need all of those, but they did make it so that you could loot the bodies for a good little while after the horde now, so I guess there is that bonus that even though they die out there, I'm not missing out on a lot of loot. I'm still going to be able to loot most of those bodies. Come here, Mr. Crawler. Team Zombie. Lots of clothes. I shouldn't have gotten so close to him. Whoops. Spider zombie. Well, look at him sticking his head through all the way. Show me that head. So our loot is full. I should have put another storage chest down on this side, and I did not do it. That would have been a smart thing to do. Oops, standing a little too close to the pillars. Don't want to get nicked by that dog that I hear. A little miss. Okay, so now those spikes are starting to fall, and bodies are falling with them, the few that were up there at least. Nice, just getting level after level. So these steel spikes do a decent amount of damage. I know there was a lot of talk, and anytime I hear people talking about the large spikes, they're like, "Oh, they really nerfed those bad," but they still do a decent amount of damage to the zombies. I mean, they're not gonna just stand around on them and survive. They are gonna eventually die. So, couple patterns. Crazy man acts pretty normal at nighttime, the way he moves around. So it's kind of standing on that end the whole time. I guess I should be moving around just a bit and letting him do some damage to this end as well. Kind of balance it out a little bit. Oh, utility worker. I don't want to get rid of your body. You might have something really good. This is another good way to increase your scavenging. Move around to this side a little bit. Still waiting on that cop to arrive, however many of those might be. I know those will probably come in the latter waves, but I do expect to see some. Go ahead and clear some of these bodies out. Make sure they're taking full spike damage. So we are yet to do a repair. You know, the steel's holding up very well. Still kind of expecting a cop to come at some point and do a lot of damage to them. Whoops. So far, that's 3 levels. come down here, Mr. or Mrs. Hazmat Worker. Sounds like a Mrs. Alright, let's dump this stuff on off. Doing a little spike swimming, I see. Swim across those spikes, you fools. I am infected. 4 a.m. So I don't know what happened to the cops. Where you at, Mr. Policeman? So we were, like I said, we were much over prepared as there were no cops in this particular horde. Like I had imagined there would be. So we did get one cop in the last horde. So I just assumed that there would absolutely be one in this horde. Not so. They are still coming, however, so, you know, I don't want to speak too soon. We could still see a cop. All right. So it seems as if the chaos has ended. There's almost a chest full of loot. Let's go up top. Assess the damage. Loot all the corpses up here that we can. Most of them are still here. Look at that. So it may have not been a bad idea to put the spikes on top of the hole. I've never done that before. There's nice, some nail gun parts, some much better than what we had too. The spikes over the hole, I didn't think that was going to do much, or they were all just going to cave in, or whatever might happen. But actually worked out well for us. Can we scrap these? No, we're not even going to pick those shoes up. I need to throw out all the shoes. I was just kind of looting everything as they came in to the pit. Well, so I could hear them up here beating on something. I almost think that they were beating on the spikes. I don't see any block damage to the actual base. They were all up above my head the entire time. That's why when I saw that they were coming from this direction over here, I stood under the edge over here so they would run towards me that way instead of just standing directly above my head. Yeah, it kind of is what it is. So they still do not attack downwards, just more proof there. I get a comment per day on that. And I'll maybe do a video on it again here soon. But if you have a flat block flush to the ground, you see the only blocks that they would have done damage to are the ones where they're standing on a corpse down in the pit and can reach up and hit this top block here. And I almost should have made the pit one more deeper and had 4 pillars with the one on top. And I encourage you to do that if you do this style build. Have 4 or 5 pillars tall. This side took little to no damage. Huh. Drunken Disorderly Challenge. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's your 28-day horde. Pretty uneventful with the overkill of spikes up here. If you make yourself a tree farm such as I did, or just plant some trees out and about around your base so that they grow back over and over and over, you'll have enough wood to make these overpowered spikes up here. And instead of the 4 rows that we had, you could do 6 or 8 or 10 or however many, and you're more than likely not going to get many zombies, much like we didn't, in your pit. So minimal amount of repairs, and you can still loot those bodies the next day. The way the bodies work now in Decay, they're still just hanging out the next morning at 4 a.m. So that's what it looks like. Next episode we come back, we will absolutely get everything repaired up to 100%. We'll kind of think about where we're going from this point forward. I don't know if I'll continue the series. I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Have some other things that I'd really like to work on 7 Days to Die. That large project's going to take many hours. I want to get that done as well. These episodes have all been recorded before you get them, I think 2 weeks in advance. So I do have a lot of them still to upload. So by the time you hear this, maybe I will have that large project done, and perhaps we'll see if I decide to continue on to day 35, or who knows, 42, 49 or something. We may just keep going with it. So all of that rush for steel, pretty much almost repaired 100% here now, and I'm still sitting on well over 100 steel. And everything is steel. Spikes, pillars, everything is steel. And we'll eventually make this whole bunker out of steel just to withstand the cops' explosions, so that there's no guesswork in that. And, I'm sure for the hordes upcoming, we'll have many cops that we have to deal with in this small pit. And so we want to make sure that the damage is down to minimal and very manageable. And by then we'll have a lot more steel as well, just by the next horde. But thank you so much for watching this series and kind of watching along with me as I play. I've enjoyed recording these episodes, and hopefully continue to move forward and see what happens, and see what we decide to do if we do a large project, some huge build or whatever. But everyone, take care, and I'll see you soon.